Somebody's gonna friggin' pay for screwing up my vacation.
Turns out, after the runaway success of Duke Nukem 3D in 1996, before they'd even started working on what would become the next installment in the series, a side-scrolling platformer called Duke Nukem Forever, 3D Realms was going to release an expansion pack, the Plutonium pack, which included a whole new episode comprised of 11 new maps designed by returning champions Alan Blum, Richard Level Lord Grey, Shadow Warrior alum Keith Schuler, and a young upstart by the name of Randall Pitchford II. Oh, Randy.
I love a good joke.
Oh yes! The very first level of the episode was made by Randy Pitchford, and I can tell because it's called It's Impossible, and that's an obvious lie, because here I am finishing it and I suck at video games. But first, we need to hear John St. John talk to himself in the intro cutscene.
Duke, we've got a new problem here. This video was shot by an undercover operative. I'm going in.
That's pretty gross, but I do like the first person putting on sunglasses bit.
Somebody's gonna friggin' pay for screwing up my vacation.
In 1996, there was a little movie with Tom Cruise called Mission Impossible. You may have heard of it, or maybe one of its sequels where Tom Cruise has some kind of long-running bet with the Grim Reaper. And if you think this episode is opening with a lot of old cultural references, you ain't heard nothing yet. Compared to the previous episodes, It's Impossible is a bit of a difficulty spike. It starts with you getting shot by turrets, rooms packed with aliens, no matter which entrance you take into the building. Ammo is a little tighter, fights are a little tougher, don't worry, you'll have the full Duke arsenal before the level is over. And those references aren't just awkwardly crammed in there most of the time. They're put in with some finesse and some class.
This tape will self-destruct in 1 second.
I can't believe this, but I'm saying that Randy Pitchford did a good job. Jesus, the barracks at this facility are stuffed with pig cops, and it takes some effort to clean them out. I could go in through the vent in the bathroom, but I feel like that could be even more of a problem. You don't even need to go into this room unless you want a jetpack. There's another way in from upstairs and another secret. The bathroom next door is full of octobrains. Hooray for this build engine clipping, this is awesome. Flying drones in an enclosed space? You betcha. There's this mean little trap before the big Mission Impossible set piece. Some of you might be too young to remember this bit from the first movie with Tom Cruise dangling from a vent in this room here, and just how much it was parodied at the time. Except here you got that full interactive experience. Once you hit the floor, alarms go off and doors open to flood the room with aliens, so here's how we handle that. God, I can never remember the combinations for every single one of these. But there's still aliens alive in these monster closets who have to pay for screwing up my vacation. I could go through this whole Get Smart reference, but there's a vent that takes you to a secret with the Devastator in it. It's as good a time as any to show off the new weapon of the episode, the Expander. It is cool that it explodes monsters, causing damage to other nearby monsters, but in my opinion it takes a lot of the scarce ammo for the thing to have much impact. So you won't be seeing much of it in this video. You need to stock up on weapons and ammo in this episode because you're about to meet the first new enemy, the Protector Drone. You saw a bunch of them in the opening. The worst part about them is that they have as much health as an assault commander. I know what you're saying, hey Civvie, the worst part is that they shrink you, which is an important part of their design, but they telegraph that attack so hard that I rarely get shrunk by them anymore. The fact that they're fast and rush you and make explosive weapons a dangerous gamble is the second worst thing about them. The freeze thrower is actually your best option for them, which is cool because I feel like that weapon had pretty limited use in the rest of the game. Hasta la vista, dickwad. On to Duke Burger. Ah yes, before there was a Duke Burger in DNF, we had this classic right here. The hardest part is getting in.
Go away. Well, I'm clone.
Not only are there like a half dozen flying pig cop patrols, now you gotta deal with the pig cop tanks. As you'd expect, they don't go down easy, they hit scan the hell out of you, launch grenades, kinda like the Battle Lord. Except when they die, they explode with an unpredictable area of splash damage. So after this video went up for the patrons, someone told me that you could just run up behind the pig cop tanks and hit the use key and they self-destruct. A thing that I didn't know despite playing this game for 20 years. And knowing this now makes me so angry that I'm actually fucking numb from it. Thankfully, there's a ton of health lying around and just enough ammo so that I only choose to pistol a couple of these guys. The inside is populated with much simpler monsters.
Come get some. Hail to the king, baby.
Yeah, that's still awesome.
No way I'm eating this shit.
Order up!
Damn, I'm good.
But this restaurant holds a dark secret. Going through the meat processing plant in the back room, a thing I assume all fast food places have due to the high concentration of meat in your average McDonald's hamburger.
Nobody messes with my meat.
Duke's burgers are made from dogs! Oh cool, 2 more tanks? You probably don't need to deal with them, you can exit without that, but you know, the alien bastards and they gotta pay. 2 more protector drones. Oh yeah, this episode loves its protector drones. Before you exit into shopping bag, I'm not sure we really saw the instant effect of one of those self-destruct exits while leaving a level in the first 3 episodes, so... I like it. It really gives a sense of continuity to the levels. I think Blood did that kind of thing better until about episode 4, but you know. Hell yeah, headquarters for secret agencies, celebrity chain restaurants with dubiously sourced meat, and now a grocery store. Full of fucking tanks! How did you even fit that in here? At least that awful music stopped. True story, I used to work in a grocery store, and hearing Walk the Dinosaur several times a day is actually really bad for your mental health. Like, once you learn all the words and realize it's about nuclear annihilation, that is when you know it's too much. If Duke Nukem wasn't a walking slab of right-injected meat, he might have some kind of existential crisis because of this, but nah.
Get back to work, you slacker.
What's that, you wanted more references?
I guess he didn't escape from LA.
Babeland is obviously a parody of Disneyland, except with titties instead of mice. Oh, wait, no, there are mice too.
Hi!
Damn, that was annoying.
Well, hey, Civvie.
No, you were in the last one. Get the fuck out. There's rides and games and so much to do. You can ride the D-Cups and... Okay, I see. This is a weird bug with E-Duke that I would complain about, but it's already been fixed in the latest version. That wacky build engine. The main attraction is the Babes of the Caribbean ride, and having been to a Disney theme park before, I can tell you these wait times are accurate in some cases. The overabundance of aliens, not so much. This is when the episode starts to really test the player. I mean, you can still have a shrinker, so it's not that bad. The cannons that shoot at you, who in the fuck put real functional cannons on these ships? That seems like a legal liability, so I have to assume that the aliens did it, and what? The end of this map is just the worst. 5 protector drones, 1 hiding behind a door at the end. They're not even hard to deal with, really. They're just time-consuming. Let's move on to Pigsty.
I'll be back.
Peak Duke Nukem 3D right there. You got your Arnold reference, you got a huge explosion, another fine level full of Easter eggs and secrets.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. Go ahead, make my day.
And I'm doing this sort of pseudo Charles Bronson voice in the studio, and Lonnie goes, no, hold on. It was her idea to use Clint Eastwood. She said, think of Dirty Harry and the way he would speak with his teeth clenched. Do that go ahead, make my day line. And I went, okay, go ahead, make my day. And Broussard heard that and he goes, I agree, that's the right direction, but it's not big enough. Duke is a huge, steroided dude. So I just took it down an octave pretty much. Went,
Go ahead, make my day.
This all leads to a giant courthouse battle, a hung jury, and a not-so-well-hidden secret exit to Area 51. You know, I remember this battle being tougher.
So help me, Duke.
Oh, there we go.
Secret level.
Oh, right, it's another Randy level. Heavily inspired by the then-current blockbuster Independence Day, Area 51 is a giant secret level, bigger than any of the ones in Duke 3D proper, and was remembered well enough to be included in the Doctor Who Clone Me DLC for Duke Nukem Forever, generally being part of the development plans for DNF all the way through. You got labs full of aliens, this alien spaceship that you can actually go inside. Man, that young Randy Pitchford fellow seemed to have a good head on his shoulders. I feel like I'm complimenting Randy Pitchford too much, but if you pay attention to the news cycle, he's usually doing something greasy. I feel like most of these levels do a good job of building up to a big fight at the end. This one has a battle lord and lets you launch nuclear missiles. Finally!
Nobody checks with our independence.
If you're wondering where that assault commander sound is coming from, well, that's in the walls. I think this place is haunted. You have to keep an eye out for the launch code. Still a cool map, and I got one of those protector drones stuck on a crane. Okay, you got me once.
Sayonara, scumbag. Holy shit.
Duke Nukem 3D levels are always best when they're visiting a real-world location, and going Postal is no exception.
Butt sauce.
Probably my favorite level in the episode. It's got some weird little details in the locker room. There's a toilet just sitting there. Hey, do Postal workers shit out in the open? This secret room with the Postal Rifle Association and this dog target, what did 3D Realms have against sweet, innocent puppers? And of course, the no-holds-barred Alien vs. Duke throwdown at the end of this level has to be seen to be believed. Oh, come on! Come on, I'm shooting at his feet! This fucking weird hitbox! Yeah, I may be hiding behind this box, but then again, I don't think I've ever seen a Duke Nukem game spawn that many enemies for you to deal with at once. Next up, Triple X Stacy, a producer of erotic entertainment. This, surprisingly, is not a Randy Pitchford level. You know what the start of this level needs? A pig cop tank, and an area almost small enough to make it so the splash damage from it when it explodes will always get ya. I feel like I have to explain some things. So in the 90s, they used to release pornography other places that weren't the internet, and to do that, they had to put them on these things called VHS tapes, which had video and audio data that these machines would read off of magnetic strips, and man, the quality on those was hot garbage. Like worse than watching a movie on a cell phone.
You think you've seen a film on your fucking telephone.
Hey!
Get real.
Oh, thank me! Thank me! Oh,
Wish I had time.
Down on your knees and bark like a dog.
Look, I'm willing to humiliate myself a lot in these videos, but I gotta draw a line somewhere. Most of this level doesn't even take place inside the studio. It's mostly a surrounding area with, like, shrink rays shooting through the water, and kamikaze drones, and a comedy club called The Funny Boner. What is the deal with these alien invasions? First it's the Rigeladins, then it's you guys. I don't care. As long as I've got an audience, I'll knock them. Wait, are those tables upside down? What the fuck? This is probably my least favorite level of the bunch. It feels like filler. That changes because we've got a nuclear meltdown to... Wait, what? Critical mass, an absolute gauntlet of a level that starts a lot like the last one did, followed by a lot of tight hallways with protector drones, octobrains, and oh damn it, I missed the secret. It's Homer's workstation, Sector 7G. I always pass by it because of all the exploding and stuff going on. It's not just that. When the level finally opens up, it might as well be over. From what I can tell, you overload the reactor and it blows, and that's totally fine, right?
I'm sure there's no long-term consequences to this.
Nah, it's fine, because now we've got the biggest, baddest level Duke Nukem 3D has to offer. Derelict. An absolutely enormous map. An oil tanker on the stormy seas, well guarded. Getting on the thing requires being picked up by a crane, and that's after clearing out all the octobrains underneath the ship. You got turrets hidden behind fake walls, you got assault commanders, flying patrols. This level is a beast. I think the only one that could even touch some of the stuff from Blood in terms of impressive build engine stuff. I see you commenters down there talking about Ion Fury, which is on eDuke and made 20 years later. Shut up. The level's actually great. It's a damn fine way to almost end the episode.
What a mess. Eat shit to die.
My problem is that I'm trying to conserve ammo by using the shotgun on everything, which takes kind of a while. I wouldn't say that it's difficult, it's just that I had an accident with some build engine jankiness a couple maps back, so I don't have any shrinker ammo. The end of the map is kind of a giant pain in the ass. You're up here, Battlelord is down there, and the high ground means nothing when they have a hit-scanning chain gun. Alright, my jetpack's almost gone, I gotta go for this. I wish this was the last level. 'Cause now, the Queen. Randy Pitchford's final contribution to the episode. The boss level. I hate it. I didn't know at the time, but this was the genesis, the first seed of hatred planted by Randy himself. His other levels were fine, decent, enjoyable even. But the Queen is a parade of sadism and humiliation. Oh yeah, it's so cool, there's rooms over rooms, wow, yeah, you make your way into the first half of this map and it's going great. There's a big underwater section that I don't really care for where you have to hit some switches, navigate some obstacles, and get a key. The central area of this room is what really chafes my scrot, full of chain gunners and protector drones that always seem to drop right into the water, which gets them out of the way for the moment, but I still gotta go down there and deal with them. And a room you have to go into in order to progress where there's a Battlelord that will most likely hit scan you as soon as you open that door, and I'm out of shrinker ammo. No, that's fine. I can loop around and hit him from these windows that just opened. All in all, this part of the level is kind of dumb and boring and irritating. So Randy copied and pasted it and you have to do the whole goddamn thing again. Yeah, except for the underwater switches, it's the same thing again, and it sucked the first time. So let's do it twice to pad the thing out, completely unnecessary, much like what comes next. The goal of this map is to open these bars in front of this alien slime hallway, but you have to use the yellow key to also open that door, which you collect here, so it seems like the bars are unnecessary. And you have to run over the alien slime and completely wear out a pair of protective boots for, no reason really, just cuz. And when you finally do get to the boss, the Queen, it's an underwater arena for some godforsaken reason. All of this confuses me because the Queen farts out the protector drones, so where did the eggs come from in the beginning? Wouldn't the Queen lay the eggs? And also, the protector drones are much less effective underwater because they're just kind of stuck here in this state chasing me, so why? I've killed this boss so many times it's like nothing. Stay out of its field of view when it does its psychic attack, keep moving, shooting, you'll be fine. The fight takes me an entire minute.
Time to abort your whole friggin' species.
Apparently not, because this is how many games the aliens show up in after this. Did I mention that the alien Queen has titties? Because of course she does. The Queen in DNF had 3, but this one has 4. I know you can't see them. Thanks, Katie. Thanks to all our fans for giving us big heads. Look for a Duke Nukem 3D sequel soon. Yup, that's the staff. Is that Randy Pitchford with a beard? Oh, I'm sorry, I mean Rondi. That's a nice beard, Randy. I got bad news for you, though. You think you're Hans Gruber, but you're really Ellis, motherfucker. That's it. We are done with Duke Nukem 3D. Finally, I did the first one as a 50k subscriber special, and now we're at... Oh, God. Jesus, that probably isn't good. Don't you be touching the bed or the bucket. Those are mine.